Alright, welcome back to another episode of Operation C.M.G, a podcast that covers comics, movies, and games. I'm your host, Dustin.
And today you guys got me.
We're down 2 boys, but we still got 2 boys. So we're all good to go. Today we're just going to do short little conversation. New game me and Juice have been playing called Escape from Tarkov.
New is a very relative term.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're playing a 3-year-old game.
That for some reason is just recently gained in popularity.
Yeah, it has.
I guess a couple of streamers, Dr. Lupo and Shroud picked it up, but Dr. Disrespect. The two of them apparently kind of re-brought alive the franchise that for some reason almost bellied up.
Yeah, it did. I mean, like, the little bit of information that I know it's 3 years old.
Yep.
I know, like, it started off just like your average, like, Kickstarter game, blah, blah, blah. It's been in beta for 3 years. And apparently it just finally, I guess, got the, like, enough money to finally, like, start throwing it in there and doing a bunch of updates and stuff to where it's actually playable.
Yeah, well, what I was reading is the developers, like, they had a grand vision, but they didn't know how to
kind of implement
get there. And so they didn't want to release the game without it meeting their standards. So they kind of fought for a long time with it being an alpha and beta for so long before they were really like, you know what? We're not getting anywhere. This game's been out for 3 years. We're still not ready for it. So now it's in like an open beta. So anyone with a PC, I think only. It's a PC exclusive at this point. Could buy it, download it, and get early access to when the game's ready. And so I think it's been there for about a year or so, probably close to that. But fairly recently, past couple of months, it's really just starting to blow up again. With that being said, lobby times are still under works. That's something that every beta is always going to have an issue with. Unfortunately, with Escape from Tarkov, since it's not a respawn game or anything. So, first of all, if you guys don't know...
Let's talk, Give him a good description of what
So, what Escape from Tarkov is there's this new kind of...
Just new kind of genre of game.
Genre of shooter that's coming out that's... You've got your Battle Royales, which are, one-life games. And this is kind of another branch off that. But instead of landing in with nothing, collecting what you can start off with equipment, and then you can escape with anything that you collect or anything that you took in, and anything that you escape with, you get to a drop zone, or I can't remember what they call it. Exfil. Anytime you get there and get out without dying, then you get to keep everything you took with you and you collected. But if you go in and you die, everything you took with you is now gone. Unless you have certain things that will allow you to keep some and others.
You get one, like you have a backpack to put stuff in, but you have one little container called I forget what it's called. It's a weird word.
Yeah.
But you put it in that, and no matter what happens to you, you keep that little bit of whatever.
The few items. Yeah. Everything takes up like a little block space, and depending on the number of blocks, so you get like a certain amount of storage.
It's kind of like Tetris when you're kind of putting stuff away because you gotta like.
Yeah, you gotta fit everything in, so you gotta make sure. It does really feel like that when you're trying to figure out what do I want to put in this backpack or what do I not want to take with me, because you're limited to just so much stuff that you can keep with you. So is it enjoyable?
Yes, it is. It is.
For me, it's like PUBG. It's one of those things that you get in and you do not expect to be good, especially since it's been out for a while.
Because there's no tutorial.
There's no.
It doesn't hold your hand.
This is a beta. This is hey, try to find our bugs. Keep that in mind. That's where the game's at right now. There's long wait times, and this is extremely realistic. Every portion of your body has a hit marker. So your left, right arm, your left, right leg, your thorax and upper chest and head, I think all have them. But like a headshot, you're done. You've got to heal yourself and everything. So
there's no reviving.
There's
your buddies.
There's no hit markers. If you like Call of Duty, imagine Call of Duty hardcore on hardcore mode. Like that's what the game feels like. And until you get a map, you also don't know where the exfil locations are. You don't know where the buildings to loot are. It would be like if you drop down in PUBG or Fortnite, never playing the game, and you have to find out where the blue circle's going.
Yeah.
Without a map and without being able to see it.
There's
all the while without taking a single shot from someone else.
You don't have a compass or anything. When you're playing with a teammate, you don't know he's your teammate unless you like look at him. You're like,
there's
okay,
no headboard.
I know what you look like. That's about it. Because me and him are playing. He goes around a tree line. There's a guy to our right. I turn to my right. I'm like, where's he at? Then I get shot in the leg. Turns out I was the guy to the right.
Communication's a huge part of the game, which I love. But it is definitely something that was our second or third match in. So it's one of those things that you're going to learn really quickly. Okay, we're going to have to make sure that we know where we're going, that we're moving at the same pace and everything else. Because this game could be, you know what, I just like playing alone. I'm going to go out and do whatever I can. This is not like Call of Duty in the terms that this is not a fast-paced game.
No.
So reading up, there's one map called Factory, which is the fastest paced, just because the map's so small and there's only 6 people. But with that being said, you're probably only going to end up fighting 1, maybe 2, if you're one of the action-packed people. Now, along with that, they also have something that are called scavs, short for scavenger, I believe. But
like NPC.
They're like NPCs, but you can also play as them. I don't get it.
So
much.
The last match that me and you played.
Yeah.
So another thing about this is like, this isn't a game where like you died, all you just spectate your buddy. You know, you can, where'd you get killed from? He's over here. Nah, man, you're dead. You're back to the lobby. Like, there you go.
are thrown.
And then if you're alive, like I was just like, oh, right here, I'm by myself. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice phone ring. It's not, you missed the call. So when you do the scav, so there's scavs and then the military people. You don't only do it every 20 or 15 minutes, something like that. You go in with a random set of armor and items and guns. If you make it out of that, you get to keep all that. So when you died and left, and I actually made it out of there somehow.
You got to keep all that?
Yeah, I was just like, I literally like spent 20 minutes like crawling through some grass, just trying not to die. And I found
what does the evac zone look like?
I found one that was called Dead Body, and I thought it was a dead body that I was going to go search, and it was an exfil port. And
wait, really?
It was like, you give me a 5-second countdown, and I was like, what? And then I was going, and then I was out of the match. But I kept the sniper rifle that I took into the match.
Yeah. That
I didn't have before because I wasn't my actual character. I was a random scav. So that was kind of cool.
Which I guess is good. 20 minutes, that's a pretty good balance of you can't just go in as this and then collect free stuff. You just run straight to... So I like that aspect. But this isn't the only game that meets this kind of standard. There's another one that I always compare this to, Hunt Showdown, which is what I played first, which is the same kind of... almost like a looter shooter. But... nothing's for sure. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how it's going to play out. You just know you want to not die and make it out. And just how much loot you make during the progress of that match kind of varies. But it's a genre that I like. The only bad thing about it is just the wait times.
Your phone, my dog's outside. Just continue talking.
So yeah, the only real downside of this game is the fact that the wait times are about 10 minutes for the lobby. And there's a whole lot of servers right now, which is great for ping instances, but not so great in terms of trying to find a match. So that's one thing that once more players start getting on, and probably when there's more
how
people.
we would spawn, die in 30 seconds, and then have to wait 10 minutes for a match.
I didn't talk about the dying yet. I was just talking about the 10-minute wait time. Oof. But yes, so we played 3 matches last night. We got it yesterday. And the first 2 matches, I don't think we had a survival time over 2 minutes. So...
Except the one, I guess I was going to say won, but it's not. I didn't win it. I didn't win. I just...
Well, our third match...
I left with my life.
Yeah, our third match, we survived 7 minutes. Most of that was because we were confused. So, every game I've played, I've enjoyed kind of being a shot caller when it's been needed. This game is definitely a game where you need somebody who knows how to do that. And I realized how hard it is when you don't have a compass to try to shot call. It's like... Okay, so you're going to see some rocks and everything. Well, there's rocks everywhere. Well, there's a big wall of rocks. There's a wall of rocks. So we're for like 4 minutes of the 7 minutes, we're literally trying to find each other because I ran off and I thought he was behind me. And lo and behold, he's like, where the fuck are you?
Do you see? I was like, shoot your gun and I'll come find you. You're like, I can't. There's people right in front of me.
Yeah, at the same time... So, the maps can't be that large. We haven't really explored them.
Oh,
but even...
I've seen... I think they vary. But
yeah,
I know
so
one of them
Factory,
is huge.
I know, is very small. Woods is supposed to be one of the largest. But even if they are large, the number of players on there in terms of the size of the map feels really proportionate. Because it's not like... In Hunt Showdown, you could walk around for a long time before you ran into somebody, even though there were objectives that constantly got you closer. Escape from Tarkov doesn't really have that. There are areas that you can loot, which is where everybody's supposed to be going, but you're going to run into somebody fairly quickly. So it was within 2 minutes of us spawning in. On the longest one that we survived, there were already 2 groups shooting. So... It's one of those games you have to be silent. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm just going to open fire on somebody because I see them. Because you don't know if you've been tracked for another minute and a half as someone else is waiting for you to give your position. And I love those games. I love the ones where I'm a very trigger-happy person. But
you shot me in the leg.
But at the same time, you also have to be willing to hold off and kind of use them as bait.
Yeah, just kind of depends like what the situation is.
Yeah, because there was one where you got me killed actually because I'm like, okay, there's a guy on the lower ledge and then there's a guy up on top, and so we thought the shooting was done, and so Dustin's like, okay, I'm gonna kill him, and well he missed a shot, and so I'm like, oh, there's another guy up top, so I start looking one way, and all of a sudden I get headshot from the back, game over, and Dustin's like, I've been shot. I'm going to have to make it out. So I guess he's spending the rest of the time crawling to the evac zone.
I did. I made it out alive. I killed one other person.
Yeah.
Somebody was like looking at a dead body and I was like...
This is revenge for the first time I died. Yeah, looting is also similar to PUBG.
It is, yeah.
But it's one of those things like, it's not safe to loot.
Yeah, it's not safe to do anything.
Yeah, well, fair enough. But you probably don't want to loot something in this game. If I'm just going to have to take a wild guess, we don't have a lot of time in it. You probably don't want to loot something after you kill it. You probably want to remember where it's at and like survey the area around it to verify that, hey, it is clear. Or if there was anybody else who was also saw what was going on but don't know where you're at. So you don't give away your position. So you don't want to lose everything that you've spent so long to collect.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the game is super cool though, and a lot of like, it's like, okay, so it's, you got, there's no HUD or anything on the screen. So it's say a Call of Duty, you know, I have 30 of 105 bullets, right? Well, in this game, you don't fucking know that. You have 3 magazines, or you have how many magazines you brought
however many you take with you.
Say you bring in 3. How many have in my how many have in my gun? Okay, press T Alt, and you're gonna take the magazine out, and you're gonna look at it and give it a good weight check, and it's gonna tell you it's about full, it's about half, it's low. Stick it back in your gun. You can reload to a different magazine, a fresh one, but it's not Call of Duty where you can just pick out infinite magazines. If you have a magazine that's out of bullets, well, guess what? One, you have to have bullets, and two, you have to load it one bullet at a time, like in real life, and usually click, click, click. So if you get caught in a firefight doing that, you're fucking dead.
This game by far has the most keybinds out of any shooting game I have ever played.
You can check to see if a bullet's in the chamber.
You can lean like what a lot of PC gamers are used to, but there's also smooth leans.
I haven't figured out how to do that yet. The lean's really, really similar to like a siege lean.
Yeah.
Like you can stand there and kind of just lean your body around a corner. So like the only thing that they can really see is kind of your head and your gun.
You have the ability to fire overhead. So like if you're taking cover under a rock, you can, blind fire over yourself. That way you don't really give away any critical shots that can still hit your hand, but that's not a death shot. So how the game works, your arms, if they take damage, supposed to hurt your accuracy. If your legs get shot and take damage, fall damage, anything like that, you can't run, or you're at least your speed is hindered.
Yeah.
But then the critical shots, your thorax, upper chest, and head, those are your lethal shots. I don't know if bleeding out is an aspect in the game. I haven't come across that. So I don't know if you got shot in the arm and you don't repair it or patch it up. If you bleed to death, I don't know if that's a feature in the game, but there's so many other things that
I think it's pretty realistic to the point of like, if you take 10 shots to the arm and that's the only part of your body that gets hit, your arm's gonna be, done for, but you're not gonna die. Like, you'll probably not be able to hold a gun, most likely, or some shit until you heal it, but like...
Or if you don't have a gun, because... So, I intentionally went into the first match knowing that I wasn't gonna survive, and only took a knife with me. Well, every time you go in, if you lose everything that you had, so... Took stuff with me the second match, we lost again, went in with the third match, and forgot to give myself ammunition and guns and everything again, so I only had a knife, and I ended up dying. I guess we played 4 matches last night.
Probably.
Woods twice at the end, and then
we played that
very first one.
We played that night mode, and we didn't have flashlights or night vision or anything. And guess what? It's dark, and we were just wandering around this.
It is a game where even if you turned your gamma darkness all the way up, like, you can't make stuff out. Like, okay, there's lights here and there's lights here, and so there's 2 different times when you go in and pick what map you want to play. There's 2 different times. There's they're 12 hours apart every time, so there's like a morning or day, morning, afternoon. So it was like
1 a.m.
It was like 1 a.m. and we clicked on the 1 a.m. to see what it was like, and apparently 1 a.m. in a factory with only like 2 fires means that you literally can't see. We spawned probably no farther than we are from each other, and it's like I can barely see a little bit of a figure only when I move, and like the light just happens to hit them.
Yeah.
So other people are walking around and like flashing lights, and they found him first. They just flashed their light on, found him.
I died so quick.
Yeah, and it's not like, a glare from a sniper in Call of Duty or anything where if they do it, it gives them away. Light. It's like a blinding light where it's like they're that way, but you can't even really narrow down other than they're that direction.
Yeah.
You can't tell exactly where that's at.
Blinded by the light.
So, yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
But
then I wash my body.
Yeah.
But it's definitely. I mean, played a couple matches last night. Haven't played it. Talking about it now just makes me want to hop in there more and just like play it more because there's 130 different weapons, and you can customize the shit out of guns, dude. I'm talking like your barrel, your handguard, your gas system, the buttstock, the pistol grip, the trigger, the scope, the ammunition, the way you can call it like customize them in Call of Duty on crack. Like it's ridiculous. And there's so many guns.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Dude, you can do all kinds of shit with guns. It's crazy.
But and then the graphics are amazing. I'm gonna have to turn them down a little bit, but like the foliage and everything else in that game is just almost on another level for a shooter game. Call of Duty has good graphics, but it has good graphics that's not really realistic. Like if you look at the grass in this game, it's not like you're looking at computer generated grass that's supposed to look realistic. It looks like you're looking at grass. So they definitely put a lot of time and everything in it, and if it doesn't meet, the standards and everything that the developers are looking for, has really high hopes of where the game's gonna be when they release it. But it's definitely still a trial. But
yeah, it's not a free to play game.
Yeah, it's not.
Just off the rip, it costs the standard edition's $45. If you buy into the beta, there's a disclaimer that does say like when the game gets released fully, you have access to it completely. So
you're pretty much pre-ordering the game,
and you're able to play it now.
And you get access to the beta. It's an open beta if you purchase the game. That's where it's at right now. But
it's pretty fun. I mean, there's like 9 to 10 maps, and we only have like 4 of them unlocked.
Yeah.
I don't know how to unlock other maps.
I'm sure you're gonna have to get in, find a map for one of the others, and
unlock it or some shit.
Get out, yeah. But I guarantee when the game comes out, there's gonna be a tutorial with some probably small sort of not campaign, but campaign-ish tutorial, probably with each map where it's like, okay, go do objectives A, B, C, D. Just kind of familiarize yourself with it. But I don't think it's going to be anything more than that. For me, it would be a game that's really hard to play on your own. Just because it's slow-paced. You only get one life. There's long wait times. For me, you kind of need someone else there to help keep yourself entertained.
Yeah, I mean, it does have the level of interest to hop in there and play by yourself. It does have that little bit of interest, but I think it's more fun with friends.
And I think it depends on what kind of player you are. I'm not somebody who gets in and it's like, okay, I want to go full on. I'm not a Marine recon sniper. This game, that's kind of what you want to be. You want to be down in the dirt, you want to be quiet, and you want to get in, get out with anyone ever seeing you, ever knowing what's going on. I'm not like that. I'm the guy that wants to run around with an SMG, jump around a corner, and be like, okay, can I aim better than you? And you can't do that. You'll get abused. So for me, I need something else. If I can't just be constantly moving, then I need something else to keep me entertained more than just the game. And so that's where I need someone else. But if you're the kind of person who's like, this looks amazing, my only focus is getting to this objective and I don't want any distractions, then this is definitely the game for you to play alone. Like,
yeah, I think so too. This isn't a game. It's not like Call of Duty. You can sit there and you can play while you talk shit to your buddies about when. This is like you play and the whole time you're playing, like you got to be serious because like if you're not, you'll get killed, or you get separated and get killed, or get separated to your teammate, or.
And the fights are not like any other gunfight game there is out there, because it's not like if you take damage you can get to cover and heal. Like, you can, but don't rely on that as the way you're going to survive. This game is a sly based game. You want to get unnoticed as long as you can, and that's
it's kind of like horror, kind of a horror got suspense vibe, because it's like you're just moving, everything makes sound. It's a very sound immersive game, so it's like
You need a good headset.
Yeah, you move and it's like, oh shit, what is that? Is that a person? Is it a fucking, what is that right there? Is it the wind?
Is that the enemy to the right, or is that Dustin who's not behind me? Like
you went off without me.
Twice.
Where'd you go? Around this plane. What? What plane?
What plane?
I'm
the one on fire. Do you hear the gunshots? Yeah, they're like directly to my right. No, I don't hear those.
It's crazy. But I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean, I really want to hop back on there and definitely play it more. Just because it's got the whole hideout system too, which is kind of cool and nice. Like that, like.
That is, it's.
I haven't really understand what the hell it's for yet, but.
To me, it might just be like, if you remember on, what was it, Pokemon Emerald, where you could, like, have a little tree house or something where you just have it to have it and put stuff in there. I think that's what it is. And you can heal yourself outside of the game and put your storage. But I really don't see any actual use for it right now other than healing yourself before you go into the match to heal yourself.
Yeah, I mean, but who knows? We gotta definitely dig more into it to see. Yeah. But I mean, it's.
But it is really cool.
Yeah,
if they start letting us, actually being able to, purchase things or build things to put up on the wall, because it's almost like a nuclear hideout shelter kind of thing, like an old school.
This whole game feels like it's based out of like Chernobyl.
It is, and it is a
based out
Russian.
of Russia.
It's a Russian company who designed it, and it is based on like a futuristic Russian, not competition, but
apocalyptic.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like a post-apocalypse thing. It just feels like two separate groups who are at odds with each other. One of them Russian government, the other one like counter Russia government. So
mercenary type people.
Yeah, it seems like two people who are both supposed to be bad guys trying to stop each other. So it's like, there's really not a right or wrong team to pick. Like, they're both doing their own things for nefarious reasons. Because as soon as you get in, it's like, who do you want to be, Bear or Usek? Both of us went with Usek for different reasons. You like the operator?
Yeah.
I like the fact that I could say Usek. So, but that's pretty much all there was to it. But it's definitely a game that I want to get a lot better at, because the customization I think is going to be a lot of fun, especially when you can start designing your character to look different.
Yeah.
That way it's easier for, if both of us wanted to dress up the same, we could be like, okay, that's what we look like. That's the person I don't shoot in the leg next time.
Yeah.
Because right now you really do. You start the match and you're like, oh, I logged in before you did. I'm not going to move around, because if I do, I'm going to lose you. But if I also just stay here, someone else is going to run up and kill me, which is what happened our first match. I got in like 30 seconds before he did. So I'm just over there running around, and he's like, where are you? I'm like, I don't see you. I think we spawned in 2 different locations. He's like, I'm not in yet. I'm like, oh, let me go back. And I do, and I'm like, oh, is that you? Jump. He jumps, and all of a sudden, boom, boom. I'm like, I think someone's shooting at us. Yes. Like, it was instant. So you don't start off very far from other people. So it's best to get down and get your ground covered before you start really doing anything.
Yeah, and it's so like, it's the weird thing of like, you find good, like, I have a good gun, but do I really want to take it into this battle?
Yeah.
And lose it? Like,
unless you have like absolute confidence in yourself that I'm a god and no one can shoot me, no one can see me before I see them. Like, you have apparently RNG is not the greatest, because you might get a scav that just randomly headshots you. So it doesn't even have to be another player. You can have an NPC who happens to see you and happens to land a headshot, and you're out of the game. So if you have all your best stuff with you, you might just get unlucky. You could be the greatest player in the world. You could land 100% of your shots. But all it takes is one NPC to be like, I found him. For you to lose everything you took with you. So
it's like a Russian roulette of
yeah.
What the hell?
There's definitely a balance of if you play this game and you win this game a lot and you collect a lot of really good things, you don't want to take all of them with you in one set because eventually you're going to lose, and you don't want to lose everything at once. You know, okay, I'll lose this gun or I'll lose that sidearm.
Yeah.
You know, things that you're willing to sacrifice in order to try to get more. But if you just take it all with you, yeah, you might win 2 or 3. But if you don't get more of those and you lose it, you've lost probably hours of work to obtain that.
In hours of work, I mean hours of waiting in the lobby.
Yeah. We don't even have any idea how long it takes to actually get to the main locations and get out.
Can't make it that far.
Yeah.
But
this game is old. A lot of people are just now getting into it, but there's people that are playing who have, you know, 2 or 3 years into it. So they
know all the locations and
they know where the spawns are at. They know where the exfil locations are at. Like, there's those players. We're not them. Maybe one day we will be, but we've definitely got a long ways to of sitting in lobby before we can get there. So the more of you that join us, the shorter those wait times, and maybe we get to kill each other.
What, are we sponsoring Tarkov now?
No, but we do need shorter lobbies, so
come play with us.
Come play with us. Now, one little complaint I have, and maybe it's not going to be that big of a deal down the road, I don't think it's too user-friendly on getting into a game. This game
it's
has...
not user-friendly for anything at all.
Well, yeah, because the key bindings, there's so many of them. But when you get into a lobby to try to set it up, there are 5, maybe 6 different pages you have to get to before you actually get to the ability to have someone join you and to start that matchmaking. There's no quick play. It's like you go in, you say, alrighty, let's play. And then it goes in, it's like, okay, pick where you want to play. And then you do that, and it'll tell you whether you can or you can't. So some maps are locked, like he said when you first start playing. So until you lock those maps, you can't go there. And then once you get there, it's like, hey, you don't have the map for this map, so you don't get the HUD or anything to look at it. Would you like to continue? Then you go through that. It's like, do you want to play online or offline? You go through that. And then it's like, what time do you want to play? You go through that. And then do you want to take an insurance agent or something like that? And then you go through that, and like 2 more pages, you finally get around to the, would you like somebody to join you? And you're like, yes.
Yeah, it took us...
He'll come with me.
20 minutes to figure, like, how do we play with each other? But it's not too difficult to figure out, though. I mean, we figured it out, at least.
We figured it out. So once you get it figured out, it's not that bad. I just wish that, you know, like in PUBG, you can make one leader who could do all that. Because we have to go through and we have to select everything
separately, the exact same, and then we have to be in the same lobby.
We have to coordinate every click we make. That way we're in the same lobby. That way I can invite him to join with me.
But it's a beta game, so I mean,
those things will definitely get straightened out.
You know.
But that just in its current state, that's my biggest complaint. That and the wait times. But I've played plenty of betas. I'm used to, you know, up to an hour wait time depending on just how early into the stages you are.
I'm trying to think, like, Fortnite's still in beta. This game's 3 years in beta. Is there a time limit on how, like, can you be in a beta stage for how long you want?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's no, like, restrictions against that?
I don't
know why there would be, but I'm just kind of curious.
But no, but there's probably just like a cultural feeling that if you're in beta for too long, the game's probably never going to come out and be good. Like, if you don't want your fan base to leave before the game's even released, because PUBG was in beta for almost a year before its release, and maybe even longer because I played it for a long time before it finally became released. But I really don't know what. For a lot of games nowadays, I don't think that betas are what they used to be. I think they just use that as a, hey, we still have bugs, we're trying to resolve those. But at the same time, like Call of Duty is a full release game, and they still make updates. So it's like, in this day and age, with everything being the way it is, updates, you're going to update a fully released game. I don't see why people don't just release games sooner. For me, alphas should be, okay, can we get this out to a couple, 1,000 people, have them download it on multiple different consoles or PCs and, see what works, get a good sample size. If that works, open it up to a beta, then look for, game-changing bugs, fix those, and then release the game. Mm-hmm. And then upon release, when you have a lot of people invested in it, that's where you start getting a lot of community feedback. But now to drag on a beta for more than probably a year and a half for alpha, beta, and then release.
It's normally bad news.
But Fortnite's still there. What is it, 2-year anniversary? And I think they're still today in their beta stage.
Yeah.
So.
Or early access or something.
Yeah, so
they're in some form of whatever.
And to me, I think if you are released on console, you can't really say you're in beta anymore. Like if you're a Steam game, or if you're your own Epic, whatever you may be, game, and you come out PC and then you branch out and you get into other consoles, and they're all being updated at the same time, I don't think you can really consider yourself in beta anymore. Because maybe the first month or two when you branch out to those consoles, but at that point you're like, this is our game.
Not necessarily, because you can buy a disc version of Fortnite now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can go out and buy a disc version of the game,
are you really in beta?
Are you in beta? I can't argue that you
are not.
That you, yeah.
I don't know.
For me, that disc, if I could go out and buy a hard copy of the game, I'm sorry. You've done printed what you want. There's updates and everything, and I love updates. Don't get me wrong. But if you're out there and they're like, this is our game, then just release it.
There's got to be behind the scene things that make it. There's probably restrictions or stuff, or what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't make games, so
I don't either. There could be legal reasoning or
probably
anything else, or the fact that Fortnite never wants to admit that their runoff game is better than their original. Because how many people actually play Fortnite the game versus
Battle Royale.
Fortnite the Battle Royale?
I don't even know. I've never.
Or the number of people that even know it was a game before it was a Battle Royale. Because, what was it, a zombie game?
Yeah, it's like a zombie. It's like a your character, specific characters with physical abilities. You have to you build bases and defend off zombies. And
see, this number one player of Fortnite can't really tell you what Fortnite's about. So, but he can tell you anything about the Battle Royale that you probably have any questions for. So
pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's
I wouldn't be surprised if it was something along those lines. Just we'll never admit it to ourselves.
I mean, they're one of the most profitable video games of all time.
By sheer accident.
Yeah.
Hey, but I gotta love it. It's a free-to-play game. That's not a free-to-win game. It is strictly skins and cosmetics.
Yeah.
And they're happily making livings. And they get to change it up all they want. And the fan base is okay with it. Has there been a whole lot of pushback for this 2.0 or whatever they're calling it?
But it's kind of like business as usual.
Yeah. And from what games I've played, it's got a really good community. I'm somebody that played League of Legends and Call of Duty, so I'm very used to toxic communities. Like,
Go kill yourself.
It doesn't get worse than League of Legends and Call of Duty. So yeah, Fortnite's like a totally different atmosphere where you have a 10-year-old where it's like, oh, it's okay, I'll get you up. Instead of, why the fuck did you miss that shot? Like, it's different. I like it. I'm not good at it. Don't play it a lot.
There's not a lot of whole I fucked your mom.
I don't think I've ever heard someone say that in Fortnite, actually. No one calls you out for your name.
No, because everyone's got to create stupid names in Fortnite.
Have you not seen names in Call of Duty? Every single time we play, if I do not put it on mute everybody except party, at least one game, someone will give him shit for his name. No reason why.
Oh, my name?
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
I've changed my name to 3 different things. I can't say any of them have not been, at least one person's going to say something about it.
But at every match, someone. And I don't even fucking talk to people.
I've only had one person call me out for my name, and it was because they thought it was... What did she think the name was? Viagra. And I was like, nope. There's a V.
That's about it.
There's also a G somewhere in there. But that's it. So...
Yeah, I don't even talk. I'm just talking to you guys, and it's like, hey, fuck it. What, dude? What? Like, my name's not even funny. It's just...
Is your name Dustin? Fucking gay. like this is really how the conversations seem to go. But no, the first time we actually played together, it's hey, faggot. You with the name.
My name's the Dusty one.
The Dusty one.
And just, I don't know.
For some reason,
everyone thinks it's the fucking easiest thing to meme in the world. Is it?
To me, looking at the names on a list, yours would be at the very bottom to call out.
Yeah, because there's like ass liquor,
Back before they made me change it from Vagarious, I was like, someone's just gonna not know that's a word and see Vag and be like, yo, I'm gonna... No, they would skip right over me to go target the Dusty one, and I'm like, you know what?
There's people in there with like racist names and sexist names, and it's like, how did you even get approved for this?
What was that one guy?
Which one?
Like the Tommy dude. The one that was trying to be in the clan.
I don't even... Oh my god, what is this guy's name? I don't even remember. But that was the most racist... I was like, how did you get approved when you made that name?
Oh. Yeah.
And nobody says shit to that guy.
Nope. He's literally just talking the entire time, and we're like, you're
kind of a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like... Probably get off this game and go get some help.
You need friends.
But no, everyone in the lobby decides to fuck with me. I make it sound like I get bullied online on a daily basis.
Well, you do. It's a good thing that we don't take any of the bullying to heart. We're old enough to realize that, okay. But we also dish it out. Him more so than me. I normally just mute everybody because I don't need that toxicity in my life. I love giving shit to people that deserve it. So if I forget to mute, normally I try
Sometimes it's just fun, though, just to...
Oh, it is. And it's always fun to target the biggest shit talker. I'm not somebody... Because everyone can have a bad day. Some people might just want to play the game to enjoy the game. And if you do, I think you really should mute people on your own. But in case they forget, I don't want to be the guy that's like, you're fucking shit! I don't want to be that guy, unless...
Oh, well, you know what? No. We were playing the other day and you were talking shit to those two, Russian dudes or whatever they were. Huh? They were playing, domination on COD and they weren't playing the objective. Those two Russian guys.
hold on.
Or-
Okay, I'm sorry, but if
It's-
you're talking about on shipment, and if you play an objective-based game, and you have less than 1 second of a 6-minute game on point,
Fuck you.
then fuck you. Like, oh my gosh.
You were talking so wet to
0
those guys.
They had 0 seconds on point. Between the 3 of them combined, they had 1 second on point. You literally spawn on point.
Yeah, well. Yeah, you're talking so bad, little dudes.
I do feel... No, I don't feel guilty for that, actually. I would do it over again.
That was hilarious, though. I didn't even say anything. I was like, he's getting so mad right now. Oh, but... Well,
Final thoughts?
I'm good. I guess get Tarkov so we can not have
Drastic
big times.
And we'll give you a whole list of servers that we're looking for games for on, because I think there's like 15 of them that we've selected.
What?
That I have. I forgot we didn't have you do it. I've already explained to them as you were chasing down the dog. You can select individual servers, and there's like a lot of games will have US, East, West, and Central. This game will have like Atlanta, Chicago, like all kinds of server names. Oh yeah, there's hundreds of them. So I just picked the ones with the best ping for you. They say if you pick about 15 to 20, the wait times are shorter than if you just click on auto. So you'll get better ping and shorter times if you go that route, supposedly.
Well, this has been another duo episode of Operation C.M.G. podcast, covers comic movies and games. You can
you can listen to us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can also watch us on YouTube at Operation CMG. You can contact us through social media on Facebook and Twitter at Operation CMG, or you can follow us on Instagram at op_CMG. You can also email us at operationcmg1047@gmail.com. I think I got all that correct. He's going to verify. Dink. Sweet.
I thought we were going to share that. I know we were going to...
You know what? I just need to build my confidence because I can never think of that before we start recording. But once I start going, I can't stop. Because the moment I break my concentration, I'm not going to remember anything.
Yeah, you're good.
So, I'll hand it over to you.
Over and out.